want to live a meaningful and productive life. And you can imagine that this is not so easy in a world in which overstimulation, social media consumption and many other things are part of our daily agenda. Therefore, I was looking for an extraordinary genius with an extraordinary daily routine that I can get the things done that I normally strive to do, but which do not always work out for me. And I decided to step into the footsteps of none other than Nikola Tesla for the next 48 hours. So what does that mean for the next 2 days? Here's my schedule that I came up with based on Tesla's daily routine. The first thing that you will notice is the huge amount of work and walking. But how is this possible? Because of Tesla's weird sleep schedule. As you can see, he took a lot of short naps throughout the day that he slept in total about 2 hours, which is insane. I'm honestly questioning whether I'm able to do this. Who cares? I feel energized, so let's start. It's 6:30 and I don't feel as energized as yesterday, but okay, first, getting dressed. Okay, but what's next? Walking? Sounds good, cause I'm not in the mood for work yet. And by the way, I managed to convince my twin brother to do Tesla's routine as well, so probably you are going to see him here and there. Since Tesla was a workaholic and his brain was busy almost the entire day, he obviously knew that he also needed some breaks, although he did not always take it that serious. Actually, Tesla used to walk his 8 to 10 miles at once. However, I decided to split up the 10 miles into 5 times of each 2 miles. Why? Because I knew that I need multiple breaks between all the working sessions. First, I start scheduling my tasks for today. Okay, and now 90 minutes of work. Tesla used to work up to 20 hours each day. But I mean, it makes sense because he invented so many life-changing things. At this point I should have taken my first 20-minute nap, but I mean, I just got up, so I continue working. I'm sure that Tesla also only slept when it was really needed, but more about this later. Now it's 12 o'clock, time to eat. Tesla was also known for his picky diet, therefore I decided to go for a raw vegan dish for lunch and a warm vegan dish in the evening. For lunch, I got buckwheat sprouts with frozen banana puree, some more dried buckwheat sprouts, almonds, chocolate granola, and some cocoa nibs on top. Voila, enjoy. Mostly Tesla ate alone and he had 2 meals per day. Tesla tried to hold off toxic substances such as acid by not eating too much, therefore he only ate 2 meals a day. He avoided foods related to the generation of acids, such as peas or beans. He consumed fish and meat very rarely as they have a strong acid reaction, as they contain a great deal of phosphorus. Occasionally, Tesla also enjoyed playing chess. So one match against my brother, each of us has 10 minutes. Let's go! Slowly, the game came to an end and I knew that I was going to lose. Okay, now 4 hours passed again and it's time for my first nap. Oh, and I forgot to mention this. Actually, I got a mental method that Tesla was said to use to get in touch with his subconscious or unconscious. For this, he wrote down any kind of spontaneous unconscious messages, ideas, dreams, or weird thoughts that popped up in his mind, especially when daydreaming or after sleeping. Done with the first nap, but I don't remember any dreams. Maybe next time. I already know that this is going to be my favorite part of the day, eating, chess, and sleeping. But now I'm ready to finally work again. Some room spray. It smells like forest. And let's go. Tesla had a photographic memory. He could envision 3-dimensional structures in his head and work on them to be able to invent something. My method is different. I do not rush into actual work. When I get an idea, I start at once building it up in my imagination. I change the construction, make improvements and operate the device entirely in my mind. Done with the work session, now it's 3 o'clock, time to walk. Tesla used the time for walking very productively. When he worked on something but felt stuck, he started walking for hours. This actually helped him to get some distance to his work or to think through some concepts again. However, at this point I noticed that those 30 minutes were simply not enough for this. Therefore, I adopted my plan that I combined my last 2 sessions of the day to a bigger one during the night. But for now, it's time to work again. Work, work, and work again. At this point, I should take another nap, but I do not feel sleepy, so I thought that I could save the time for a later point, so I continued working. But what is most fascinating is his sleeping habits. Tesla used a polyphasic sleep schedule of 20 minutes of napping every 4 hours. This sleep schedule is called the Uberman. It's a good way, or let's rather say a way, to increase productivity, fit more working hours into the day, and even help become more creative. Right now, you might ask yourself, is this even healthy? And yeah, I get you. I'm also skeptical about it, but let's just try it out. If Tesla didn't forget to eat, he mostly ate around 8 o'clock in the evening. So let's eat. I decided to go for a potato soup with fried onions and falafels, since Tesla declared to eat potatoes at least once a day for their valuable mineral salts. So getting ready for sleep, or rather 20 minutes of sleep. Nice, almost 9 o'clock. Now it's 9:30 and I already feel less motivated, but what always gets me going is music. Another aim of the sleeping schedule was to boost Tesla's creativity through the state between sleeping and wakefulness, which is called a hypnagogic state. Apparently, here the access to the unconscious could be accessed more easily. As far as I'm concerned, science could not really explain how this works, but apparently it seemed to work for numerous famous people. From there, I continued working for a little more until it was time for walking. Every living being is an engine geared to the wheelwork of the universe. Though seemingly affected only by its immediate surrounding, the sphere of external influence extends to infinite distance. It's so quiet and peaceful when everyone is asleep. Since I didn't read that much the last weeks, I decided to grab one of my books that I wanted to continue to read. It's a nice one, and as long as I can enlarge my spiritual horizon, it's also some kind of work. I had a strange but familiar feeling while I was reading this line of the book. So Tesla was obviously not the only one who slept less than the recommended 7 to 8 hours per day. Since another 4 hours passed, you know what that means. So the most interesting thoughts I noticed appeared during the night as more sleep deprived I became. But I was still working. Again, 4 hours passed, so I will take a nap because I'm just staring at the screen instead of getting anything done.
20 minutes later. Much later. The next morning.
Fuck. Morning guys, so let me be quick. I messed up a little. Actually, yesterday night or this morning around 5 o'clock, I went to bed and I decided to sleep for 40 minutes instead of 20 because I skipped 2 times, so I thought let's just add 20 minutes, this will be alright. But I had a new alarm, so I didn't hear my phone, and so instead of sleeping for 40 minutes, I almost slept for 2 hours. Yeah, how do I feel? I still feel a little bit tired, but I think it's alright. So I'm just going to move on and try to continue. Right now it's around 7 o'clock. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to take a shower. Tesla mostly took a hot bath, followed by a cold shower, which probably also helped to stay more alert. Okay, you know what we need to do. Since I slept a little too long, I'm going to skip the 9 o'clock nap again to get back some time. It's time for swimming. Oof, it's colder than I actually expected it to be. I'm going to swim for about 20 minutes and later in the afternoon I'm going to have a walk for 2 hours since it was pretty good yesterday night. Apparently, Tesla used to swim 33 laps at the public pool when he was working for Edison. Okay, this was refreshing. Tesla advised to eat lots of vegetables, I think this should be doable for me since I'm a vegetarian. If you heat up your food, you destroy the enzymes inside. Hence, you eat something dead which is not alive. So anything that is kind of dead, so got killed or cooked, is said to have a lower frequency of vibration. And this is what you put into your system. First, less nutrition, and second, it's supposed to hit your mental and emotional energies as well. Therefore, I made a raw salad with some quinoa that fills me up. Instead of cooking the lentils, I just let them sprout for a few days. I'm super hungry. With this diet you will feel lighter, more energized, and less distracted or burdened. Although this is not entirely evidence-based, it sounds very logical to me and I can support this from my own experience. And again, a quick round of chess. And this time I won. Now a short nap. Let's head back to work. Finally, I can go for the 2-hour walk. By the way, Tesla mostly lived on his own without many people around him, that he didn't get distracted. He also followed celibacy to not waste his energy. Tesla's father, who was a priest, wanted him to join the church and pursue the priesthood. However, Tesla was interested in science. Actually, I should take another nap now, but I'm not going to do it because I do not feel very tired. So back to work for another 3 hours. Now it's 8:30 and it's time for eating. You know what Tesla said, potatoes and many greens. And then, you know how it works. Working, napping, and again working. At this point, it was pretty obvious that I became more and more tired, less focused, and that I was not very efficient, but I still continued. And then, I knew. Finally I can go to bed, and not only for 20 minutes. So yeah, good night. And this night I slept for 8 hours. Okay guys, yesterday I took some time off just for resting and reflecting, and these are my takeaways from Tesla's daily routine. First, sleeping. I'm pretty sure that Tesla's sleeping schedule evolved over a long period of time until his body finally got used to it, and obviously also with certain drawbacks because he suffered from insomnia, which is not a real surprise. Then it can really take up to several weeks to adapt to the sleeping cycle, but the actual positive effects only start to kick in once you are used to the sleeping cycle. And last, it needs to be said that Tesla was extremely passionate when it came to his work. And I also have a good drive when it comes to the things that I've did, so that I like creating videos and all of that stuff. But of course I think there's still a gap if you compare me to Tesla. Second, eating. I really liked his diet with the 2 meals and the intermittent fasting because I felt that it really gave me a lot of mental clarity. Actually, I did this kind of diet for I think 1 or even 2 years in the past. It's just perfect for meditation, so if you want to try it out, go for it. And third, Tesla's mental method. To be honest, I really enjoy doing this method of writing down spontaneous and interesting thoughts. And I have a feeling that most adults view daydreaming as simply worthless or also suppress it. And I think many of us tend to reject those thinking methods that were actually quite natural to us when we were younger. But if we start to write down our thoughts, we actually reinforce this creative flow and eventually open a door to something bigger. And trust me, there are also other creators, inventors who did those kind of things. And if they had great ideas, they mostly came in form of concepts, mental images, or any kind of psychic experiences, but not only in words. So all in all, I think it really makes sense to take over some of his habits, but only to the extent as they work out for your life. If you copy the exact same routine, for sure your friends are going to think you become crazy instead of becoming a genius. That's it for today. I would really appreciate if you hit the like button or subscribe to my channel if you found this video interesting, because I put a lot of effort into it. If you want to get in contact, just leave a comment or send a DM on Instagram. Link is in the description. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day. My name is Till, and this is Till Talk.